Namaskaram. So today is day 46. Yesterday we were looking at the Vairagya chants. I hope you got a chance to download and listen to them and see if you could find your chant among those five. So I thought that today we could look at one of these chants and also the significance of this chant, the Nirvana Shatakam, and also being tomorrow May 6th being Shankaracharya Jayanti. So it would be very appropriate to speak about Adi Shankara and his phenomenal contribution to upliftment of human consciousness. So especially in the Indian subcontinent, almost everyone would have at least heard about Shankaracharya and maybe some stories about him, especially in south of India. His the work which he has done, not only south of India but even across. As you know, he set up many institutions. So, but even otherwise, you will see that almost everyone would have, even if they have not heard about him, maybe some of his chants they may be singing or something like that. They would have something or the other to do with Shankaracharya, because the kind of intellectual genius he was, this is something which is unparalleled, and most importantly, at the way he conducted himself, he was an he was such a he was such a humble figure, and the way he conducted himself, this was something which Sadhguru was mentioning in one of the videos, that one of the reasons, or one of the primary reasons which made Shankaracharya a great human being, a phenomenal human being, and why this subcontinent has produced so many such beings. One of the reasons is that we always learned to how to bow down to everything, whether it is an ant or whether it is a tree or whether it is a rock, whether it's a pebble or man, animal, human, anyone. We just learn to see that how we can bow down to everything. And this is one of the most important reasons why such great human beings were produced, because they just, in spite of their vast knowledge and their realization, they were always so down to earth and so humble that when people looked at them, they just couldn't even, if you just look at people from outside, you won't even know that there's such a phenomenal human being here. But the way they were within themselves was something which is something, even now people remember them even after thousands of years. The footprints which they have left have made a huge impact. So Shankaracharya was one such being, and this is something, the kind of work which he has done. I remember just a few weeks before, I had been to Sringeri, and where he had set up a center. And also I remember when I had gone to Dhyan Yatra, the Himalayas, Badrinath, where as you know that he has it seems he personally consecrated that temple, the Badrinath temple. So even otherwise also, he has set up centers across in 4 different directions in India. And the work which he has done, especially his chants, this is something which we would remember. So if you know about Nirvana Shatakam, this is one of his most popular chants which he composed, which people even continue to sing even now after so many thousands of years. There are many other chants as well which are very popular, which have been composed by Shankaracharya. For example, the Bhaja Govindam chant, that is something you may have come across, or the Saundarya Lahiri, or Bhairavi Stuti. No, not Stuti, but there was another one, Bhairavi chant. So that is also something which is, we can share the link to these chants in the description. So if you would like to listen to them, you can do that. So the town which Shankaracharya was born, it is called as Kaladi, which literally means beneath the feet. So Sadhguru was mentioning about how this quality of just trying to see that that we are at the feet and we are not at the top, just trying to see how we can bow down to everything. This is what was one of the main ingredients for making Shankara such a phenomenal and wonderful human being. So tomorrow being his Jayanti, this is something which is a reminder for us to see if we can become like that, if at least an element of that comes into our life. And if we can make use of the chant, like the Nirvana Shatakam chant. So this is something which has been composed by Shankaracharya. You may have even heard this being sung by the Isha Brahmacharis during Mahashivratri, and just listening to it itself can just it just gives such a different feeling that you just cannot miss this chant. It just lifts you up. It's so powerful. You may not understand the chant, what it means, but just listening to the sounds itself can actually create a distance between you and your body and you and your mind. So that's the significance of this chant, that if you just continuously listen to it, it can help you to create a distance between your body and your mind, which is something which will give you a glimpse of the beyond. So if you have learned how to chant it correctly, then you can even chant it. So the good thing is that now these chants can be learned online. So Isha Samskriti students, the alumni, as part of Project Samskriti, they are also training people in terms of how to chant this properly. So if you are interested to learn how to chant Nirvana Shatakam, you can even look up their website in terms of the classes which are happening online, and you can enroll for them. Or even Hatha Yoga teachers can also teach you the first few stanzas of the Nirvana Shatakam chant. So please see how you can learn them if you want to chant it correctly. Otherwise, you can just listen to it. So these chants, it's best that if you don't know how to chant it properly, you just listen to it. Just listen to the sound over and over again, like we looked at yesterday. If this is something which you're connecting with, just listen to it over and over again. But if you know how to chant it correctly, if you have been trained, if you have learned it properly, then you can chant it as well. So I remember during our Hatha Yoga teachers training, we were actually taught how to chant it correctly. And initially I thought it's a very simple chant, but when we started learning it, we realized how many things we were doing wrong, because it's just about paying so much attention to each and every sound and just uttering it exactly the same way. So it's a completely different thing by itself. So it was really amazing to learn this chant, to see how to say this properly. And every time I chant this, it reminds me about Shankaracharya and his contribution. So please see how you can learn this chant as well, and you can see how you can make use of this. I'll share the link in terms of this whole chant. There's a 1 hour version as well uploaded on YouTube. So I'll share this. Just try listening to it and see what kind of feeling it creates within you. So this is something you may connect with. And apart from that, there are a few other chants which have been composed by Shankaracharya, which are very famous. I'll even share the link to that. You can even try listening to that. So please see if you can keep this on. And like we mentioned yesterday, try to see that if you choose a particular chant, try to keep that on throughout. Whichever of those 5 chants you have chosen, try to keep them on throughout. The other chants in the Vairagya series, like Brahmanand Swarupa, so that is also something you can chant. It's very easy to learn. That is something you can make use of. It is a way to connect to Sadhguru's energies. Then there's another chant called as Guru Padaka Stotram. That is also something which Samskriti alumni can teach you as part of Project Samskriti. So you can even learn to chant that Guru Padaka Stotram. There's one more Am Namah Shivaya chant, the Maha Mantra. This is something, it's best you just listen to it. You don't chant it unless you are in a particular atmosphere. So for example, at the ashram, they usually guide to chant this during some advanced programs, or there are specific times when being in the consecrated space, they are they encourage to chant this. Otherwise, just without proper preparation, chanting this may not be conducive. So this is something you can even listen to and make use of. And there is one more chant called as Shambho chant, which is very simple. So this is something you can chant if you wish to. It's just uttering the word Shambho, which is very powerful by itself. I remember when I had gone to Kedarnath, And Sadhguru was mentioning about this, that the whole mountain, if you just listen keenly, it is just reverberating with this sound Shambho. So it is a very powerful way to connect with the divine. So these are very powerful chants, these 5 Vairagya chants. So please see if you can listen to them, and if you wish to learn how to chant them, you can see if you can approach the Project Samskriti team and see how you can learn them, or one of the Hatha Yoga teachers. Some of these chants even they can teach. So that's the. So please share with us how your experience has been with these chants, and also if you have any memories of connecting with one of Shankaracharya's chants, or any other memories about him, you can even share with us. It will be nice to hear from you. And next 4 days, starting from tomorrow, I have a children's camp in Bandipur. So next 4 days I'll be on the ground, and trying to see how we can inspire the kids, especially the youngsters. It's very important that we see if they get the right tools at this age. So we'll be doing a lot of activities where we'll be in touch with nature, and we'll be learning about food and also yoga. So next 4 days it will be like implementation of so many things which we have been looking at last few days, and also seeing how we can inspire them to stand up for SaveSoil. So please do check out our Instagram stories for the next 4 days, so that we'll be sharing some live updates from the camp as well. So I may not be able to record the videos next 4 days because the network there is quite intermittent, and our schedule will be quite packed with the children. But we'll keep sharing these updates about the camp the next 4 days, so that you can get a glimpse of what's going on. So please see if you can do that. And also Sadhguru will be speaking at the COP15 summit, and if you have not yet sent your letter to your head of state, please see if you can do that by today or tomorrow at the latest. So they have made it very simple. There's a website called as savesoil.org/write. If you just visit that website, you don't even need to write any letter. There's a template. You can just add your name, and if you wish, you can customize the letter, or else you can use the same template, and in just a few steps, in just a few minutes, you can easily send a letter to your state. So please see, irrespective of your country, you can please log into that website and try to finish this. It's very important that we all write to our state heads before this summit, so that they are inspired to take some action during the summit. So please see if you can do that, and we'll meet back next. So please stay in touch in the next 4 days, and hope to see you soon again. Namaskaram.